Hey y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. Long time no see. This new show has taken up my Friday schedule. I'm trying to figure out how to get back to y'all, but I had to get up here today because never
in the history of niggerdom
did I believe that somebody who looks like me would get up here and discredit Harriet Tubman. Would get up here and say that Harriet Tubman didn't even exist. I'm sorry, are you saying that Harriet Tubman was a mythical Negro? A mystical Negro, a magical Negro, whatever you want to call it? Are you saying that we made her up? No. So the lady did get up here and apologize and say that what she meant to say, or what she meant to do, was point her frustrations to the educational system and how she was misled to learn about Harriet Tubman. But ma'am, even in your apology, even with what you said about that, you still left room for the missing disinformation and chaos that you created from that statement, from that video, to ensue, and for people to have doubts in their minds about it. Let me tell you something. Ain't no doubt about it. Harriet Tubman was very real. Not only are there documents citing her existence by like wanted posters, Harriet Tubman was not a lone actor. She worked with several people on the Underground Railroad, namely William Steele and other conductors of the Underground Railroad. She also, people were coming to Harriet Tubman for her advice, to consult her, because she had such knowledge and terrain of the southern hemisphere, of the southern half of the United States. John Brown, a white man, went and talked to that lady. Her name was Araminta Ross. Yes, that's not news. That's not news. That's not being taught incorrectly about Harriet Tubman. Being taught incorrectly about Harriet Tubman, y'all had me crack up my old textbooks about this lady. Somebody in 2005 wrote that she was a big, strong woman, regardless of, despite fragile health. Big, strong where? Harriet Tubman was 5'2". That's misinformation about Harriet Tubman. We've been known her mom and daddy call her Minty, huh? She changed her name to Harriet over her journey and through her travels because she damn well could, because she was enslaved anyway and somebody else gave her that name. What are we talking about? Then you want to deduce her work and her efforts and her strategy and her intellectual capacity to navigate southern terrain, tap into her network of not just the Underground Railroad, but enslaved people who knew what the Confederate armies and their generals and their masters and them was talking about, to just call her a spy for the American government. Are you nuts? Yes, we knew Harriet was a spy. We knew that lady used her wits to save her people by capitalizing on the opportunity presented to serve as a spy for Union soldiers who were fighting the Confederacy, because guess what? The Union soldiers were trying to get rid of slavery. Why wouldn't she be a part? Why wouldn't she be present? Why wouldn't she lend her indelible impact? That is the reason why we're here today. How does it feel? I make this joke a lot, but how does it feel to personally be a waste of Harriet Tubman's time? A woman who freed over 300 of your ancestors during her own personal time, and then because of her Union spymanship, was able to save over 700 alone in the Combahee ferry raid. What are we talking about, lady? Somebody is barring your entry from Negro heaven right now. But once again, you did apologize. And so I have to give you that, because what you apologized for mainly was just getting up here and running your mouth and being frustrated. And that's something that I say to folks all the time. You do not have to be the first person to say something in these internet streets. With all the news that's coming in, it's safe that you slow down and that you read a book. But it is also imperative that some opinions do not need to be shared, because we already are subject to such a society that will take anything and run with it. I can't blame you, and I can't blame society, because people are up here talking about COINTELPRO and how it was sparked by Hoover and Johnson during the Black Power movement. Yes, absolutely. But are they telling you what COINTELPRO means? What the COINTEL stands for? And it may be obvious to a lot of us who have read books, but for those who it isn't, counterintelligence. You know what counter means? Opposite. Anti, in opposition to. If it's counter, opposite, anti, in opposition to intelligence, what does that mean? Dumb, stupid shit, huh? And let me read to you what the memo was when they started in the 1960s. Hold please. Now y'all got me using my degree again. Okay, here we are. Hoover convinced Johnson to unleash a secret counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of Black nationalist hate-type organizations and groupings, their leadership, spokesmen, membership, and supporters, and to counter their propensity for violence and civil disorder. Among the groups selected for intensified attention to COINTELPRO were SNCC, CORE, the Louisiana-based Deacons for Defense and Justice, and the Nation of Islam. Even the SCLC, which is the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, was on Hoover's list, despite Dr. King's well-known opposition for Black national ideas and his propensity for nonviolent tactics in the first place. What they're saying is they were willing to gaslight Black people everywhere by taking away their leaders, discrediting their leaders in the name of peace. This was Stokely Carmichael meant when he said, y'all want peace, y'all don't want freedom. But nowadays, sacrificing peace seems to be okay. And just like we keep telling y'all, all these things designed to hinder black people keep getting wider and wider and wider. They're affecting more than just black people. And if you notice, everybody on these internet streets is being attacked and victimized by mis and disinformation from all kinds of bad actors. That's why people like myself, like Conscious Lee, like Garrison Hayes, like Legally Hype, like Booker Squared, like Khalil Green, Justin Scott, like Deontay Kyle, Mark Lamont Hill, like Angela Rye, like Jasmine Crockett, and so many other names that I'm just forgetting right now, are using their own personal time to make sure that you have some line of defense. Don't you ever play on Harriet Tubman's top. She will shoot you.